You're mine. Time to move.
Go!
Approaching the anomaly.
Copy that. Who's there?
Gonna watch this. I'm going to have a film review tonight. I was going to do this tonight. No, I was actually. I was going to do. I thought to myself, I'm going to review this tonight. Superman. James Gunn's Superman. I don't like people keep that's James Gunn. It's just Superman. So Superman is a 2025 a superhero based on the anonymous character from from DC Comics, written and directed by James Gunn. It is the first film in DC Universe, DCU, and a reboot of the Superman film series. David Commonsweat stars as Jor-El, Clark Kent, Superman, alongside Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gaffney, Anthony Carrigan, Nathan Fillion, and Isabel Merced. She was on actually Transformers. She was on Last of Us, and she was in the film Superman faces unintended consequences. Interviews an international after he interferes in an international conflict orchestrated by billionaire Luthor. Superman must win back public support with the help of his reporter and superhero colleagues. The film produced by Gunn and so David Commonsweat does actually a good job as Superman. I really enjoy it, especially the introductions to his Superman character when he crashes down. In the trailer he crashes down, and he was in a battle. He's been in a battle, so when he loses, and of course, and that's when the introduction of Krypton. The film made a lot of money. 225 million budget, and it made box office of 618 million. So it made a lot, but it was a lot to make. So I'm not going to explain the whole story because I'm terrible at it. When you watch a film, you go, "Oh, I can't explain the whole story." I'll keep it nice and short and sweet. So the guy who plays Superman did a good job. The girl who plays Lois Lane, I actually liked her. I thought she was nice looking. Rachel Brosnahan, she does a good job. I like those two. I like the part where there's a part. Like I said, I'll get to that in a bit. There's a part, I'm not explaining because every time I do that, it just drives me nuts. Then I've got to pair of it together. It's like explaining certain parts of the story. It just drives me nuts. So I'm kind of like, I want to keep it nice and short and sweet. So let's do this. So introduce us. Superman drops down into the snow, and then I like the part where Krypton drags him to the fortress of Solidus, to his fortress, of course, and I like that scene was pretty cool. I did not have the issues with the part where Krypton's acting a bit crazy and starts pulling him as well, because that's kind of like dogs do. Certain dogs do hyperactive, and we had a dog called Sam. She was a bit hyperactive, so she'll bite her, she'll bark. She was like that. She was a not crazy dog. Certain dogs do act crazy. So I didn't have issues with that. I liked the dog in it, Krypton. I think the dog had personality. It was funner. Especially, I like the part where... Anyway, so the end part of the Krypton, of course, they have to, regenerate Superman by beating this light onto him. Of course, he's in agony. I suppose that does make sense, because so that scene was cool. Really good scene that was, with the beginning. I really enjoyed that. And then it ends up back at Metropolis. Anyway, so there's a battle. Later on in the film, there's like a battle between this guy with this suit and stuff, Superman, and the guy in the suit turns out to be a character called Ultraman. And then you think, okay, interesting, Ultraman. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, it has this battle with this kind of like character called Ham. I think his character name is Body Armor, and then. Then next minute, there's like a part in the movie where there's a part of the film where I've never seen another film I like. I thought it was pretty interesting. Where I won't explain the whole story like I do. There's a part in the film where Luthor actually ends up at the fortress of Solidus. I mean, I'm thinking, how the hell has he got in there? It turns out to have it's gonna be spoilers in this. Turns out to have Superman's DNA, so he can get into the fortress, and that's the part where he ends up. Destroy. he brings a character called Ultraman to the fortress too, and it turns out there's a bit of twist on who he is, and I thought people actually thought it was like, I think people thought it was Henry Cavill. Oh yeah, is he? Yeah, that's what I heard of rumours that it was Henry Cavill playing Ultraman, which is not really true, of course. I wouldn't say they're far off in a way because it was kind of like Superman, but anyway, so I get into that a bit. So they end up destroying all the robots, and of course they end up finding Clark Kent's parents like a recording, and of course they use that as a weapon to set him up later on by saying that because they find they decrypt the rest of the recording. He's not actually seen, and it turns out there's like more of a sinister motive from his parents. They tried to protect him still, but at the same time, it's like that's interesting. A bit of a twist on the parents, of course. I didn't have an issue with that because even Superman's kind of like I knew nothing about that. It's still so yeah. I like the suit though. I did not have issues with his suit because it was nice and blue and red. It just looked it stuck out. This film isn't moody like the Man of Silver. I always have issues. When I watched Man of Silver at the cinema, I felt a bit underwhelmed by the film. I still liked it, but I don't know. It was just like it wasn't colourful, hopeful Superman. It just lacked something. I don't know what it was. But this one felt more hopeful than Superman. It gets us off script a few times, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. The fight scene, the battle scene between that hammer thing, which I thought. I mean, anyway, so anyway, he ends up getting self, and ends up the people start to go against him, start to not trust him, which I thought was interesting. I like the part where there's another part in the film where they drop this like creature. It goes small at first, and that's the thing. It grows like fast. It grows quite fast, and it's massive turn. Of course, I like the part where he's trying to help him, and then his friends turn up, and the Justice League. Well, they're not actually the Justice League. There's a white name every character because there's only like 2 of them in this film, and there's that Green Lantern, and no, there's 3 of them. So there's 3 characters, and yeah, so they're not the Justice League just yet. So yeah, but I like the colourful. I didn't have a problem, Green Lantern. I didn't have issues with his haircut because he's supposed to look like in the comic book film. That's what. So it looks a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, it's very cool and funny. But it actually made me laugh this film, especially Krypton. It's funny dog. It's a funny dog. But yeah, I thought the acting was good. I thought the guy who played Superman was good. Clark Kent, really, especially when his hair comes fall out, and then it explains why. And there's like an explanation why people don't recognise him with his glasses. I thought, that's okay, that works. Could be his glasses. Yeah, could be his glasses. Interesting that was. The girl who plays Lois, I think those 2 have got decent chemistry. Especially the part where she starts interviewing Clark Kent as Superman. I thought that was interesting. Because in this movie, I actually thought she didn't know who's. At first, I think, she don't know who's Superman, but then you find out she does. And yeah, the guy who plays Lex Luthor, I would say his name because I can't remember. He does a good job. I think this guy was a better Lex Luthor than the Man of Steel one, or the Superman v Superman, which I enjoyed. Superman v Batman, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a better film. No, I thought I didn't watch the original version, but I watched, and I thought it was a really good film. Batman v Superman, good film. But this one was good. I actually enjoyed this Superman film. I thought the guy who played Superman was really good. So yeah, they set him up. So it ends up getting. So they end up taking their dog. Lex Luthor takes his dog, kidnaps his dog. Because there's like this other character who has these like powers that can actually. It's like these nano things that she uses, and it catches. He throws this thing at this dog, and the dog kind of has this like black gooey stuff like nano stuff. I did like the robots in this too. There's like these cool robots that and I think I mentioned them. Part of the fortress, which I thought were really cool. The visual effects in the film were excellent. Well, I thought the effects were good, and the action scenes were really well done too. Yeah, and yeah. So anyway, he ends up getting captured. He gives himself up to find Krypton, and he ends up in this prison. And you meet this character who uses like he can actually create rocks. And he starts using like kryptonite on Superman, and of course, yeah. And then there's another part, and after later on the film, he actually helps him out because he's got like a kid that's been kidnapped, and he's on the other side of the glass, or the other side, and Superman says, "I'll help him out." And of course, then he changes his mind. So by saving, so he ends up saving Superman by not, putting his Krypton away. And Superman breaks out and saves the kid, and I thought it was really cool. So anyway, it turns out Lex has got this like machine that can go to this. That's where Superman ends up. So he ends up in this like universe with this prison, these people, these other characters, and this creepy kind of character that looks creepy actually. I was like, that's a creepy alien. It's like a bus driver or whatever. It just like takes them to one certain areas. Anyway, so Lex tries to destroy this. I can't explain how because it's like this hole starts to grow up into the ground from the I can't remember the name of the bloody machine. The place the universe thing starts to create this like hole in the ground, like starts to destroy starts to head towards Metropolis. And of course, Superman's like, oh well, what. So Superman's kind of like. So it's like you got these civilians who are in trouble from this like the militia or whatever, soldiers, and of course they want Superman to rescue them. Of course, Superman's kind of like, which way do I head, there or there? So he ends up getting his friends to save them, while he goes to Metropolis to get to Lex Luthor. And I think the film's got some good fight scenes, especially the reveal who Ultraman is. I thought was really interesting. Gonna have to cut scenes out because there's certain parts I'm just like, yeah. So it turns out, okay, like I said, there's going to be spoilers in this, better watch it. All the hundreds of millions of people watching my videos. This turns out to be him, like a clone version of him. I suppose you can call it like the, remember Lois and Clark with the clone him? It turns out to be him, and it's like, at first of all, I thought it was Henry Cavill. I thought, oh, it isn't, no, it's not, it's him. Because he looks a bit like Henry Cavill when you see him. So it reveals to be him, it's like, so he's got the same power and stuff. So there's like a battle between those two, of course. And so yeah, and it turns out then it creates this like black hole that he uses to throw him into that. So I thought that was pretty cool where he breaks his arm and he throws him into this bus and it goes straight into the black hole, which I thought was cool. Like I said, it's really cool. Especially Supergirl at the end turned up at the end, which I did have issues. Like I said, I didn't have an issue with this film, and some people have issues with this too. I didn't. It was fun. There's an issue with this film. Okay, a few issues. Well, there's one issue that I had more than it was the music. He tried to have. He had this like John Williams music, but then it was like like holding back a bit. I kind of went, okay, maybe the next film is gonna have its own music. This feels as if it went, why copy of John Williams music? I just don't get it, but I thought it was good though. That's the only issue with this film was the music. I thought, yeah. They could have had their own music, it would have worked better. There was something different that was just for like Superman, because I'm sure there's like music that can just sound like Superman without sounding John Williams or Man of Steel. That's the thing about this film, it didn't kind of copy Man of Steel, it was just Superman. It was awesome. It was colourful too at the same time. I didn't have issues with Superman suit, I thought it looked nice and colourful, like the comic book. I suppose you can call it a bit of George Reeves a little bit. Because that looked a bit like, like baggy and stuff sometimes, I think. It's been a while since I watched it actually, but man, that series was good actually, it's fun to watch. It could have done its own thing, but yeah, the end part was good action part, fight between Ultraman and Superman was good, especially when he shoots those like laser beams out there, robots and stuff, very cool. Breaks this guy's teeth, yeah, that's some very, very good. And the fighting with that big giant monster, which was cool. I like the fact that he tried to save it instead of harming it, which was cool. And he saves his squirrel, which I thought was funny. He has his morals and stuff like that. So yeah, actually I was a bit surprised seeing bloody Peacemaker, but Peacemaker sales was good, but yeah, moments you think, okay. So, I don't know, some of it was kind of weird, but yeah. But yeah, apart from that, I enjoyed it. Peacemaker making an appearance, pretty cool. So yeah, okay, so what I didn't like about, what I disliked about it, okay, the Superman music could have been better. That's about it, really. Superman music. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I disliked about this film more than anything. Didn't have issues with anything else. Visual effects are good. So, yeah. Okay, so what I didn't like, the music was like weak. Anyway, so it was. I didn't hate it, but it could have been better. But they could have used. I don't know, because sometimes when you hear a theme tune, you go, "Oh yeah, come on," but I'm kind of like, okay. So the theme tune was alright. It was bearable. I didn't mind. I love the John Williams music, but I think because it had it in the trailer all the time, the dun 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 dun, they still had it there. So that's all I kept on hearing. They could have like changed it a bit. Actually, they should have had its own music, Superman music, but not a massive problem. Okay, what I liked about it. Okay, the performances are good. The guy who plays Superman's good. Superman and Clark Kent did a good job. I actually liked his Superman. I thought it was good. It was more hopeful this one was. Especially the part where people like going against him and it's kind of like, what the hell does he do? I thought the visual effects are good. I thought the acting was good. I thought the guy who played Lex Luthor did a good job. Really good. So the cast was good. I'm trying to put where to put all that. So yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The end of the part was good too. Very good finale, fights and stuff, action, good effects. Like I said, good effects, good action. I like the fortress in it, which was cool. The robots were really cool. Some of the music was good in that though. Some of the music was good. So I'll say the music and the music. So yeah, whatever. So yeah. Trying to figure out what else. I can't think of anything else. So yeah, okay, the rate I'm going to give Superman, James Gunn Superman, is a 4 out of 5. Really liked it, didn't hate it. So 4 out of 5 for Superman from James Gunn. Really enjoyed it, and yeah. The rating of Superman, I'm going to give 4 out of 5 for a really good film, super mover. And yeah, I enjoyed it, didn't hate it. Not the best Superman movie ever, but so yeah, 4 out of 5 for Superman. Really enjoyed it, I didn't hate it. Yeah. So before I go, I'm just going to say 4 out of 5 for Superman. I enjoyed it, didn't hate it, and yeah, goes to do what they did with the Supergirl film. So yeah, cool. So before I go, I'm just going to my channel. Take care, enjoy my videos. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll see me soon, and I'll see you soon. And up and away. Bye for now.